Welcome back, everyone. This is the 6th episode of my playthrough, and today I just wanted to start on this beautiful sunset. And I've actually gathered some resources off camera, and until my pickaxe broke. So actually, here in this chest, I grabbed most of the marble coal that I found from last episode. And today, this episode, I also want to do a lot of building. So we grab this, for instance. We can see that we can do a lot of building blocks here. We can craft them. They have a nice color palette. So I have few ideas, but not gonna share it, of course, until the final build. And also I want to go back to this portal. Since we got a lot of materials last time, let's upgrade some of our stuff. So first of all, about the aspen trees that I've been looking for, I actually noticed that it isn't exclusive to aspen. You can also use beech or banyan. I'm not sure where, but somehow I got beech wood. So I'm going to be upgrading this one, which will unlock us more recipes that we can do and try out a lot of stuff. So most importantly, I can place now the eternal seeds. So yeah, let's craft a couple of those so that we have continuous farm here. Yeah, I need the hoe. Yes, I left it. Let's grab. Let's do a stone one. I'm cheap. Okay. Maybe we can water them a bit. Give them boost. Okay, this should be enough. Let's also upgrade this bench so that we can craft adamantite tools so that I can collect resources faster. Okay. Maybe let's craft as well one repair kit. Okay, this is kind of slow. This should be the last tier, I believe. Yeah, max tier reached. So now we can craft adamantite. It's just that I don't know where to get these yet. They don't have any description either, so not really helpful. But yeah, we got the builder's workbench that I just showed you. And what else? Oh yeah, we unlocked also the backpack upgrades, which we need a lot of heavy leather for, actually. That's fine. Okay, I need heavy leather for this as well. What about this one? Yep, I can also upgrade it, which will give us the option to upgrade our PvP weapons. Let's do this. I'm gonna upgrade the bow, if that's possible. No, it's not. I actually need essence of ice and thorium. Strange. I thought I had so much thorium that I don't need to collect thorium ever again, but seems like no. Okay, basic damage 7 to 30. 7 to 30, so that's like the same as the one I have. So I guess that means I'll need to repair it. What else? I can grab the cobalt battle axe, but if we upgrade this one, we'll actually be able to grab something even better. Okay. Actually, I can upgrade my hatchet. They're both rare. It doesn't say how much, but it's going to take the 2 heavy leather I have. I kinda don't wanna do this at the moment because I need heavy leather for the armor, right? Where was the armor? Here? Yeah. Okay, so in order to upgrade the armor, I actually need to farm these flying mobs from the last episode. Okay, what about the stuff? Can we craft the stuff? Yeah, we can, baby. Okay, let's craft one stuff and see how it works. Where is it? Aha! Ooh, it has animations. Actually kind of look cool. Yeah, that's really cool. How to use it? Like this? Aha! Okay, so how do I use it though? Maybe I don't have mana. Like here, it says 0 mana. How do I get mana to use it though? Does it say? No. Consumes essence of fire. Aha. Okay. Do I have essence of fire? Yeah, I do. Let's try it out. Ooh, that's really cool. Oh my god, that's really cool. I wonder how much damage it does. Doesn't say. Hey everyone, I just realized that I've been recording for the past hour and a half without actually recording the screen. You know, there was an issue with the white screen and the full screen, so I guess the OBS was capturing my post screen like this and not the gameplay. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But essentially what happened is I exported a little bit more of the map and we went down here to the bottom and then to the right, very far to the right, discovered some new biomes, but didn't find anything of substance or value. So I also focused a lot on collecting um, materials for our house. So I'll be starting building the house now, and yeah, I'll probably do it in a time-lapse kind of way and speaking over the clip, so hopefully it doesn't get corrupted again. And also I used the fertilizer crystal here, which was not this one, I believe. Yeah, this one. So as it says here, it can be placed on tilled dirt. So when you use the hoe, and once you place it, you can grow these plants that are kind of unique, I suppose, like the kelp seed, the azure cap, azure fern, etc. So I planted something, but it seems to be growing very slow at this point. So yeah, we'll see what comes out of it. And yeah, for the rest, I was kind of upgrading the farmer's workbench. I got to level 4, or tier 4 rather, and unlocked some fish stuff, but haven't tried it yet, so yeah. And crafted myself adamantite tools and got myself a little bit more of the essence. So I also checked here. We crafted one of the staffs. There were 2 staffs. Now we can actually craft the sapphire one. So might as well do that. Okay. Where did it go? Probably in the backpack. Nope. Oh, it's here. Okay. So if it's the same as the fire staff, it should consume ice essence. So let's test it out on this guy. Yeah, it doesn't seem. Yeah, I don't think I have fire essence, unfortunately. It's probably in the chests. And yeah, let's get going. I didn't really have any plan for this house other than that I wanted to make it similar to the building style of classic Minecraft. For those of you who don't know, back in the early days, like in the early beta and alpha versions, it was very popular to build out of cobblestone, and just because there was such a scarcity of blocks during that period in Minecraft, you couldn't build with stone bricks because they didn't practically exist. So what people did was they built everything out of cobblestone with oak trees, wooden planks, and also with stone slabs, which are smelted from the cobblestone. And it was very hard to actually build something that stands out because, yeah, most of the builds were kind of generic, like castles, churches, etc. But I don't know, I kind of always found a charm in this building style, and also the earlier versions of the graphics, like also the lightning model, like everything just suited it better. Like if you try to build something like in that style from that era in modern day in Minecraft without shaders or anything, like just pure out of the same blocks, you'll notice quickly that it falls apart. It kind of breaks the immersion. Like it loses all of its charm because the grass is not as green, the lighting is not as moody as you can choose it to be. in the brightness level of the settings, but still, it's not really the same. It's very different. And for that reason, I kind of always appreciate it. Maybe, I don't know, call it nostalgia or whatever, but I really like that period of Minecraft building. So yeah, a little bit of rambling, but basically what I'm trying to say is that I wanted to build a castle like in the classic Minecraft version and to see if it works out here with the current graphics and the current lighting engine the game uses. So yeah, it was kind of like experimental phase. I didn't know if it's going to fail or if it was going to turn out good, especially at the start when you're working with a lot of blocks. I mean, sure, the variety is a lot higher than the classic Minecraft, but still, I'm not a builder and I've never built amazing stuff, even on this kind of proportions. So it was kind of like a challenge also for me and my building habits and also for the game. Let's just say that. So initially, I kind of like designed the outer edges of the columns. I kind of noticed that in the past when I built, I like to use stairs a lot because they kind of break the blockiness of the game, especially when you can place them upside down and kind of like make the illusion that they are supporting the blocks above. It really goes well for the eye, especially at distance when you're doing the whole build, and of course when it is finalized as well. But you also see that during this period when I was doing the building of the house, I was going back and forth a lot between the choice of materials because I didn't know which ones I prefer using. So I was kind of like using one, then reverting to the other, then going back again third time. So yeah, you'll see me a lot of the time just staring and looking at it. And I believe that's what a lot of people, probably even professional builders, will say sometimes. And a lot of the progress is just by stepping back and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, what do you like, what you don't like. I like the stairs, so I placed them on the bottom as well because I kind of noticed that the top was a lot of visually complex, but on the bottom part it was just straight and nothing left. So I kind of wanted to change that. As I was working on this, I noticed that when I placed the stairs, just the whole wall practically became too small and kind of like comical looking. So I was like, oh shit, I need to actually extend all of the walls and columns supporting. Yeah, you'll see me doing that here as well. I even think I went back again third time and extended it once more just because I kind of want to build to emphasize like the sense of, I don't know, like the grandiose building that it is, because I imagine it to be not only like my house that I'm going to build now, but in my imagination, this is like somewhere where it is possible for a king or a princess to live. So that was how I was looking through the prism of my eyes when building this. You'll notice that here that I added also the floor from the marble cobblestone, some windows because I wanted to also emphasize how much light is going from external sources, from natural lighting. I also added some kind of moss here, which I believe it adds a bit character because otherwise it was a little bit bland and I couldn't manage to find another block which was feasible to be used alongside the marble cobblestone, which could break a little bit of the naturalness, let's say, of the build. Apart from all of this, I also added a little bit of kind of like flowering gardens on each of the windows. And also, when I was scrolling to all the blocks that you can craft through this builder's workshop, I noticed that there's this kind of like marble brick wall, which I kind of found perfect fitting for empty dead spaces that I had, because otherwise they just sat empty and they were not looking too good. But with this, I believe it adds a nice touch to the overall design. And they are actually looking pretty solid. Aside from this, you also notice that I've been clearing a lot of the surrounding area, mainly the hill on the side from the build, because I wanted to be able to see it from a distance. Possibly I will have to dig the other sides where the other hills are as well. I kind of don't know how to speed up all this process. I noticed there is like a shovel in one of the benches, working crafting benches. The shovel said in the description that you can clear out a large area of dirt. However, when it is like a marble or something like current biome that I chose to live, I'm not sure if there is like pickaxe that is able to do this. So yeah, at this point, I'm just doing it manually, unfortunately. As I mentioned previously, you also noticed me going back and forth a lot with kind of like different styles of the marble brick and different materials. When I just notice something that I kind of don't like or try to experiment with, my thought process is, well, what if I try with this block? Maybe it will work out better. And 90% of the time, not gonna lie, it's just like, oh no, I made it worse. It's a lot of back and forth. It actually took me a lot of time. Probably, if you're experienced, this will take you no more than, I don't know, 2-3 hours. But to me, it took me a lot. To be completely honest, as of time of recording this video is still not finalized, but at least it's much better looking. I also added the roof. I redesigned some of the sides a bit, added as much foliage source of the vines as well, so that will also look better, not just pure white. And I think that the blue roof tiles that I chose actually fit quite nicely here with the sky. So the interior of the house needs to be finalized as well. We'll see if I'll be able to finish this in this episode. And yeah, lately I've been thinking about a lot of stuff, particularly about how most of the times I like chasing goals and like achieving them, but the gratification when achieving a goal usually doesn't last as long. It's just like a temporary phase, maybe like a few days at most. So this is a very interesting topic that I've always wanted to actually talk about, because when I was in uni, I noticed that a lot of the times I was dreading doing most of the coursework that was given to us by the professors, and didn't kind of understand why that was it, because it wasn't particularly stressful, not least in the course that I was taking. I kind of enjoyed the subjects a lot. It was very interesting, and you could tell that the professors loved their job. I mean, they did it very good and with a lot of enthusiasm. It actually made you kind of want to study, and it didn't feel as much as studying, but more of like I don't know, like kind of doing it as a hobby, I guess. So it wasn't like particularly the stress part about with me. I don't know. It's probably because I kind of wanted to do other stuff like play video games or just go outside. However, since outside most of the time the climate wasn't allowing this because it was raining, I just kind of watched TV shows and not done much about it. I didn't even want to play a lot of games. And I was thinking about this in terms of like Hytale as well, because I was draining this house for like, I mean, we're on sixth episode now, but to be completely honest, should be like eighth or ninth, because as I said multiple times throughout the series, I had a lot of situations with footage that I lost that either got corrupted or for some reason didn't record my screen, or just the pause screen, like because of full screen book, etc. So yeah, I kind of dreaded this situation because I thought that maybe when I start recording, the footage will get corrupted again or something else. I guess subconsciously, not of course consciously, but when applying the same logic to the university, just circle back, I was thinking about how to avoid this, and I saw a video on YouTube. It was very long ago, like a couple of years ago, and there was this dude that was saying that he had experienced the exact same issues, and he tried multiple attempts to fix this. So basically, what he did was kind of like experimenting with himself, and found out that the only way practically to stop procrastinating is to just begin, even if it's like something that you don't want to do, or you're dreading it, or like you're lazy or whatever. Just kind of lie to yourself that you're going to do it for like 5 minutes, start doing it, and you notice quickly that sometimes the investment that you did is like consciously making your mind, okay, I already spent like 5 minutes just getting up to speed with the topic, or researching, or just playing, or started doing so. Might as well just continue doing it for like another 10 or 15 minutes. And most of the time, you'll notice that how quickly the time flies. I mean, of course, if you're stressing about something and you're not doing anything, it's kind of worse. Even though we are kind of wired as humans to not do anything, which is kind of counterintuitive. So yeah, it's really, really fascinating stuff. So that's what I basically decided to do. I mean, I started with the columns of the house. I had practically no vision whatsoever how I wanted this build to look. But as more and more blocks were added, I noticed that it was kind of beginning to take a little bit of shape, and more ideas started coming, like, okay, so this looks nice. What if I add this? And yeah, I mean, most of the time it just kind of clicked. I don't know how to explain it to you. I mean, the only way I can truly explain it is like kind of having an additional sense that you're unlocking in some way. Sometimes it just clicks, and you know that it's just that good. A lot of thoughts came into my mind. Like, for instance, I was thinking also as well how much of the society in the past used to live with monarchies. So those of you who don't know, monarchies are like the system in which like royalties ruled the people, so like kings, queens, etc., or like the elite. While I was thinking about this, I thought about how many of the governments in the world have now, and for the past couple of decades, shifted to democracies. Of course, there are exceptions. There's no doubt about that, but it still has been on my mind lately. And not only the monarchies as a whole, like the system, overall, the society systems that we kind of invented are very interesting to analyze and look at in a different perspective. I'll just give you one example. For instance, right now, if you live in like most of the first world countries, you probably enjoy the benefits of like having internet, water, electricity, stuff that you basically take for granted, and a lot of people don't even take into account in their everyday lives, even though they practically use them every single day, multiple times a day. And I had a situation where I just kind of lost one of these features, let's just call them, or amenities. But yeah, this is the situation. So instead of just complaining, I just kind of thought about it in like a different perspective. Just sometimes we kind of keep focusing on the negatives a bit too much. I've noticed as a society, not just myself, but yeah, I've noticed that most of the people, especially online, it's kind of sad, honestly. I feel like this is because most of the social media platforms, just the algorithms that they operate on is similar to the news, which is drama, and drama usually is most of the time right now is currently, to be honest, rage baiting stuff. But yeah, people just take the bait and they start endless discussions, endless arguments in the comment sections. Anyway, it's just people kind of lose focus, I guess, a little bit too easy right now that we have all of these technologies, all of these amenities at our disposal. But it's really interesting if you pause it for a moment, like take a step back and look at the overall situation and kind of like analyze it like, okay, this guy is really wasting his time, wasting his energy, wasting his everything, like mental energy and everything, just on hating stuff. I mean, sure, you can have different opinion, but you don't need to be a dick about it. But I guess this doesn't draw out the attention that the social media platforms and algorithms are built for. So that's why I guess it's the way it is. So I mean, it is what it is. We can't change it, but it's just funny to look at it from a side perspective, like an observer, because most of the time we just don't have that kind of point of view. Most of the people, including myself, fall into this trap of losing focus of what's already happening. It's very interesting psychological phenomenon. I noticed this a lot, and if you check in the next time you go into Reddit, YouTube, or whatever, there's like a comment section that is allowed, and people share opinions. I mean, sure, most of the time comments are funny as hell. I like to read them just for this sole purpose. Most of the time as well, aside from jokes, the stuff that gets a lot of engagement is just pure hate, and I don't think we need any more hate than we do because we have enough hate in the world already. I mean, it's really never benefiting anyone. Lately, I've been also thinking about how most of the people are kind of zombified a little bit by the smartphones. I mean, this is not like very controversial take or whatever, but I guess you really don't notice it until you go like in a big city where people are very used to like going outside with headphones, etc. Most of the time, yeah, when you go into such city, if you haven't been, like if you're from a small town, you'll notice that most of the people in like the large cities are just like kind of robots. They're practically never even looking up from their phones. Most of the time they're with headphones and with a backpack. So the only real way to strike a conversation is, I don't know, to just kind of bother them, because in like the past it didn't used to be like that. Like most of the people were kind of really living more like in the present. Sometimes you just kind of like need to take like a step back, appreciate the sunset, appreciate like the view. Once you get a little bit older, you start really appreciating the little things, like the green trees, like the perfect smell when the spring comes up, all the animals that are running, like cats and dogs and whatever, sunsets as well, even rain. When rain happens, I used to be very irritated because I never bring an umbrella with me. I just find it like too bothering to have like an umbrella. I don't like carrying it. But even rain, I kind of like appreciate that. Most of the people, I feel like if they don't have a near death experience, something that really shocks them down to their core and brings them to what I would call like factory settings, this is metaphorically speaking, of course, it just never clicks, I guess. And just to finally circle back on the first point that I was making regarding the journey, that is probably, in my opinion at least, more important than destinations, because when I used to play Minecraft, at least before, I kind of wanted to, like everyone, hit like a diamond level gear, build my first house or whatever. But there was this time when I defeated the Ender Dragon, I got diamond gear, and when I first did that, I was kind of really adrenaline filled, adrenaline was surging through my body. I was kind of really excited. That's the right word. I was really excited. And once that feeling died out after a day or two, I kind of noticed that I don't have anything to work towards. But now in retrospective, I notice what was happening. The issue was my ultimate goal that I set for myself, like the most hard goal that I ever had, which was to go to the end, deal with the Ender Dragon, get the fully diamond gear, enchanted. Basically, what happened is that I didn't have another goal set in, and that hurted my motivation to play Minecraft a lot because I was standing there and okay, what do I do now? And there was nothing else to do in the game apart from just building. And honestly, that's the most challenging part of Minecraft, I believe, even to this day. And the reason I'm saying Minecraft and Minecraft this, Minecraft that, is because I'm going to compare it to Hytale right now. So as I said, I still don't know if there's like an end goal, but even if there isn't, I still want to play the game because this game to me is like Minecraft, even though it's like has RPG elements and such. Minecraft, in retrospective, when I think about all the gear that I did back then and kind of like, okay, I was done, there's nothing to play for in this game, it's a game that you basically have to set your own goals, kind of like a real life in that sense, because nobody's like there to teach you. I mean, in real life, sure, you have parents most of the time, sometimes not, or at least some relative that is taking care of you, like a parental guardian figure, like until at least adolescence, but some people don't. So yeah, you basically have to figure out shit on your own. And if you don't, well, tough luck, because this life, I mean, if you set your goals and continue doing them, for instance, like I said here, building the house, this is a huge goal for me because I never built like a house on this proportions. Most of the houses I built were like 3 blocks tall in Minecraft, not most, literally all of them. And this is like a huge challenge. It's basically, I'm trying to copy what I see and have seen in the past decade in Minecraft building tutorials. And basically, I'm just going to complete doing other goals, other projects, which I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, even if like the time that it takes me to upload is a little bit longer. I'm probably making sure to up the quality of like the upload instead of just bringing out more videos, because you'll notice that for the past few episodes, I've been kind of pumping more and more content, but really it's not been as much building as I wanted. It was more focused on exploration because it was just easier to film and to upload, because you don't have to do anything besides just clicking record and running off somewhere, getting some blocks, maybe dealing with some new animals, like to get some gear, run back, craft them, and rinse and repeat. Basically, the same process over and over again. Once I kind of understood that, one day when I was in my bed, when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, so basically, if I continue doing that, this will just repeat the same mistake I did with Minecraft. I noticed that I will repeat the same mistake, and I just didn't want to repeat the same mistake, especially since I'm a person that doesn't like to repeat mistakes. I kind of want to learn even from the mistakes of others so that I don't have to learn the hard way. That's been basically my thought process behind the past couple of days, I guess. Also, it's really slow to take out resources. All this chalk for the roof that I'm using has to be manually mined. All of these marble stones and cobblestones I have to also manually mine, which takes a lot of time. I have already some kind of ideas for the rest of the project here after the house. For instance, I kind of want to have like this pathway that leads up to the house, as well as some kind of ancient structure, a ruins type of structure, for instance, like in Greece, in Athens, something like that, but maybe on a smaller scale, because I noticed that it's a lot of hills around me and it would look good from every direction if I build it, and especially if it's some kind of semi-large scale. Not sure that I'm going to achieve them in the next month. I'm doing everything I can. I'm putting all the effort from my side so that you can have at least some content to watch, and I'll try to finalize this house as soon as possible so that you can watch the end build and also to enjoy it myself. And with that, we're going to wrap up the episode here. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.